Today, we're going to crack open a 5,000-year-old story with a message so powerful it feels like it could have been written for us, right now. We're diving into the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient guide for navigating life's toughest battles, and it all starts with one single, impossible choice. Just take a second and really think about that. What if, to achieve the most important thing in your life, you had to fight the very people you love and look up to? Your family, your mentors? What would you do? This isn't just some random question. It's the exact crisis that kicks off the entire conversation in the Gita. So we find ourselves on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And listen, this isn't just a squabble over land. This is a civil war. It's family against family, a fight for what's right, for the very soul of a kingdom. And right in the middle of it all, a great hero is about to completely fall apart. Okay, let's meet our main players. First, you've got Arjuna. This guy is the greatest warrior of his generation, a total legend. But instead of being ready for victory, he is just paralyzed by sorrow. And right there by his side is Krishna, his best friend and his chariot driver, who, it turns out, has all the answers. The stakes? Oh, just the fate of an entire kingdom hanging in the balance. No pressure. And this right here, this just perfectly captures Arjuna's pain. He looks across the battlefield and sees his own cousins, his beloved teachers, even his grandfather staring back at him. And he throws down his bow. He says he'd rather lose, he'd rather die than fight his own people. His duty as a warrior is suddenly a war with his love for his family. Now, Krishna sees his friend totally shattered. And he doesn't just give him a simple pep talk, you can do it. No. He goes straight to the very heart of Arjuna's pain and reveals a fundamental truth about life, death, and who we really are. And this one secret, well, it's about to change everything. So Krishna's first lesson hits right at the core of Arjuna's fear. He says, look, we all make this huge mistake. We think our temporary bodies are our true selves. He says, think of your body like a set of clothes. You wear them, they get old, they tear, and eventually you get a new set. But you are not the clothes. The soul, the Atman, that's the real eternal you wearing them. And that part of you can't be burned or cut or harmed in any way. I mean, just that one idea completely changes the stakes of the battle, right? You can't destroy something that's indestructible. Okay, so it's one thing to know you're this eternal soul, but how do you actually live like that, especially when you're in the middle of a massive crisis? Krishna doesn't just leave Arjuna with a cool philosophy. He gives him 3 practical paths, 3 kinds of yoga, to actually connect with this truth in his daily life. Because he gets it, right? Different people need different ways in, some through action, some through love, and some through pure knowledge. The first path is called Karma Yoga, the path of action. This is for all the doers out there. It's super practical. Krishna's advice is simple. Do your duty. Whatever it is, being a student, a parent, an artist, a warrior, do it with your whole heart and absolute focus. But, and this is the game-changing part, you have to let go of the results. The real freedom, the real joy, comes from pouring yourself into the work itself, not from worrying about the rewards or the praise you might get later. Then you have the second path, Bhakti Yoga, which is often called the simplest and most direct path. It's the way of love, of pure devotion. Krishna says you can think of the divine as your closest friend, your most loving parent, or your wisest teacher. It's all about building a relationship of love and just completely trusting that you're being guided and protected. And finally, there's Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. This one's for the thinkers, the seekers of wisdom. The whole goal here is to really truly understand that the same divine spark, the very same soul, is inside of everyone and everything. Think about that. For Arjuna, it means seeing that same eternal self in his cousins on the other side of the battlefield, which totally transforms how he sees the entire conflict. So Arjuna has heard all this incredible wisdom, but he's still human, He still has some doubts. He basically asks Krishna for proof. He needs to see this ultimate reality for himself. And in one of the most mind-blowing moments in all of literature, Krishna says, okay, I'll show you. What Arjuna sees next is the Vishwarupa, the universal form, and it is beyond words. It's terrifying and beautiful all at once. He sees the entire cosmos, every planet, every star, all of past, present, and future, all happening right there inside Krishna's body. In that one single awe-inspiring moment, every last doubt just evaporates. He finally understands that his friend, his chariot driver, isn't just a guide, He's the source of everything. Okay, so with his doubts totally gone, his mind crystal clear, and his heart full of faith, Arjuna is finally ready. He's armed with a new kind of wisdom, and now he gets his final instructions from Krishna, a kind of ultimate summary on how to live a life of courage and purpose. And it all boils down to these three powerful steps. First, know thyself. Remember, you are the eternal soul, not this temporary body. Second, do your duty. Get out there and do your work with everything you've got, but let go of your attachment to the results. And third, trust in God. Act with love and faith, knowing you are protected and part of a much bigger plan. That's it. That's the Gita's formula for living a truly heroic life. So, with this ancient wisdom now lighting his way, Arjuna picks his bow back up, totally ready to face his destiny with a new kind of courage. And that brings the question back to us, doesn't it? Of these three incredible paths that Krishna showed us, Karma Yoga, the path of action, Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, or Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. Which one feels like it speaks to you, right here, on your own battlefield of life?